In fact, most of the Chinese newspaper and television in America is actually either directly controlled or heavily influenced by Beijing. This is the World Journal, which is one of the largest Chinese newspaper in America, and it's influenced by Beijing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a show we did a couple of weeks ago, and that was Pamela Tsai, and she's marketing director for Epoch Media Group, a competitor to World Journal, and she accused World Journal being a tool for the Communist Chinese regime. Joining us now is the managing editor and senior reporter for World Journal, and we welcome in right now Joe Wei. Good to see you, Joe.
Good to see you, sir.
How are you? Okay, so respond to what you just heard.
Well, I think the all that kind of statement is totally false and fabricated. And the World Journal, as you know, has been here since 1976. It's been here almost 40 years. And we are American newspaper. We are independently editorially, and we are independent financially. We are not controlled. We are not influenced by anyone. We're here to serve the Chinese American in this country. Then we tell them the story. We serve as three bridges, actually. The bridge between the hometown and the United States, the Chinese American community, and the government, the American of the United States. We tell our readers what is happening in the American. Then we tell our readers what happened in their community. So this is the kind of bridge we hope we can serve to our Chinese reader in these groups, in this country. And actually, I think we are doing very well. Otherwise, the last 40 years, I don't think we will be survived right here.
And so, yes. You know, you have somebody backing you up too. The first Chinese American woman elected to the U.S. Congress, representing California's 27th congressional district. Let's watch Judy Chu.
I know that the World Journal will play a tremendous role in making sure that there is accurate information, especially in the next 10 years as the relations between China and the U.S. continue to grow.
All right, so she's...
Yes, she's wonderful. And this is a part of our production for our celebration of the 40 years anniversary. And it's very nice for Congresswoman to give a few words on this, though.
So let me ask you about, do you believe that the Communist Chinese government tried to influence various Chinese media here in the United States at all?
I think to some extent maybe, but I cannot speak for any other publications.
Right.
I only can speak for the World Journal. As you see, we cover the Chinese news extensively. In recent, we just reported the biggest, the tiger in terms of corruption, the scandals in Chinese military. We put this on the newspaper. And also, there's another big scandal covered by the New York Times in the last 2 or 3 days. We put this on our newspaper. This is a total embarrassment to the Beijing governments. I don't think if we were influenced by the Beijing or any people would love to see our putting on this kind of news to embarrass them, though. But again, we are here to serve our readers in this country. I think we're doing pretty good in the last 40 years. We only support by our readers and our advertisement. So this is the two things that we think we truly serve and pretty well, and I hope we can continue doing that, though. Yes.
And the Chinese community, a very large Chinese community that you serve, correct?
Yes. The last census we have probably 5 million Chinese in this country right now, and most of them are subscribed to World Journal right now, whether it's in print or it's in media or in social media.
Right.
So, yes.
Now, the people that are in China, I mean, they don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, it depends where they are. Some it's worse, some places it's worse, somewhere maybe they could get some information, but they don't get the information that, the American Chinese people get.
Exactly. Thank you. I mentioned this, though. Actually, as a matter of fact, on New York Times and Wall Street Journal, our World Journal website is still being blocked in China. That means they doesn't really want to see our reporting, what happened in this country, also the government of the United States criticized any human rights abuse, all kinds of things that we think very take for granted in this country. Actually, we're still trying to convince all the Chinese there's a different value system in this country, though. Yes.
And what do you think the future is? I mean, do you see any hint or any reason to believe that within the near future things might loosen up in China for the people there?
Yes, definitely. I think this is a two great countries in the world. In the next 10 years or 20 years, I think the interaction between these two worlds is so important to the whole human development. But I think the positive energy from this country and also from the Chinese community people, American people, they can really send a message back to China. And I think that China right now is opening up too. they have a more material life increase, and people wanting more spiritual life, internal religious life, and all kind of publication freedom. So in the future, I think it's going to be very bright in the future.
And very quickly, how serious is the whole stock market situation there?
Pretty serious, but people definitely can distinguish the stock market to the real economic situation.
Yeah.
It's kind of investment speculative that haven't right now. Yes.
All right. Well, Joe, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you had the opportunity to respond, and we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. All right, folks, we are coming back with much, much more of the Steve Malzberg Show. You're not going to want to miss it, so stay right where you are. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.